of Central Florida. Two academies packed with pedigree collided, a match with consequence. A spot in the GA Cup final on the line. Santos Laguna carry the grit of their hometown into a matchup with one of MLS's fastest growing academies, Orlando City, already launching young talent into MLS and the U.S. national team pipeline. Taking a look at the bracket as it stands, we just had our first spot in the U18 final clinched. Colorado Rapids and penalties takes down Atlanta United. One more spot to determine the championship match of the U18s in the Generation Adidas Cup. And with that, we welcome you into the IMG Academy. Katie Goodman, AJ Ricketts. The U18s has been a thriller so far. Colorado and Atlanta lived up to the expectation, expecting to see the same with Santos Laguna and Orlando today.
Right, Orlando City marked as one of the best teams in the tournament, expected to win it all, but going up against this Liga MX side, it's a style that they may not have come into contact with here throughout this tournament. So let's see how they handle that. They've got plenty of firepower over there on that Santos Laguna side, so I think it's going to be a good one. They've
scored in every match so far in this GA Cup run. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for Santos Laguna, which brings the presence of Maximo Reyes up front.
Maximo Reyes, again, really great work there. Luca Buoso also, again, plenty of guys with Mexican national team experience. So excited to see what is in store here for them today.
That's why.
And then Orlando City as well. Expecting greatness from them. Plenty of guys who can put it away. You've got Justin Ellis, Colin Gusky, Jacob Bassinet. We've had the opportunity to watch them quite a bit. It's all going to be quite the knockdown, drag-out fight.
Justin Ellis has impressed throughout this tournament. Strong number 9 up front. Orlando City came out in a verve the first 2 minutes that last match, put 4 shots towards goal right away. Then they didn't have another shot for the next 34 minutes. Hoping to be more consistent today. That's all they needed, though, last time out. Here's Ellis. He tugged at the jersey. Now the second ball put in. Orlando, they've done it again! Less than 60 seconds this time. Orlando 1-0.
It happened so fast, we have to look at it again. Orlando, the team favored to win it all, means absolute business early. Justin Ellis, tricky guy, can't give him space. It's the deflection there. He keeps the run going and alive, and it's good there for Justin Ellis. Early dose of Ellis, you know, has to be a rush of adrenaline there for Santos Laguna.
He's been the guy this whole tournament for Orlando. Scored in the win against St. Louis. Scored in the 2-1 win against Columbus. Got this all started with a goal against Inter Milan in game 1. He is determined up front. A constant problem. And it's 1-0 to Orlando. It's following a similar script as yesterday. And the Central Florida side loving that. Santos Laguna immediately knocked back. They play it just outside the 6, settled well. Turn to the end line. They do chip it across. Players there, but too far ahead. Orlando able to deal with it effectively. And now out, perhaps on the run. They don't have numbers right now. Well, Bassinet, Ellis, perhaps can call for it here. It is. Take it away.
Of course, Orlando City with a ton of MLS Next Pro experience, and you feel that immediately with them here. Just not wasting any time at all.
Always rattling from the other Santos perspective, right? A situation like this, Orlando, what they just did from a Santos perspective, what's important here the next 5 or 10 minutes.
To have a short-term memory, keep moving forward, start connecting passes, and try to return the favor.
And he started group play on the wrong side of things. Lost 2-1 to Atlanta. And outscored their opponents 4-2 rest of the way by way of a pair of 2-1 wins. How about the footwork here by Ellis, continuing his run, dazzling his way past defenders. Not the pass he was looking for in the end, but you hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd. Ellis is playing with some sort of confidence right now.
Ellis, we're familiar seeing in Next Pro. Again, has so many of his teammates from that team around him right now.
Advantage was momentarily played, then Gomez, they called a whistle on the foul seconds earlier, so a free kick here. Cedillo, excuse me, standing around the ball. The knockout stage began. Santos Laguna picked up a 2-0 win against Inter Miami. And it looks like their tournament run might be coming to an end, but they scored in the 58th minute by way of Gutierrez against Sockers FC, a Chicago club. Cedillo whips this in off the post. Brilliant effort from long distance. Unlucky in the end. And again, the wind's having its way with that.
Probably the best set piece we've seen today, though. Just understanding the wind really gets the bend on it. Keeper would not have had that had it gone just inside the post. Instead, it's a direct hit out. Just like that, would have been all knotted up again. Omar! Wygoski there, Wygoski, towards Wygoski. Look at Genk!
When a shift in momentum, that would have been just moments later. And a throw here for Santos Laguna. The side based in the desert city of Torreon, grown from humble beginnings to what is now one of the most respected brands in Mexican football. Their start in 1983, somewhat of a latecomer to Liga MX, but quickly made an impact just 11 years after their top flight debut. Santos Laguna lifted their first league title in '96. It's fair to say what followed, call it a golden era. 5 more league championships. Clausura in 2012 and 2015. There's a passionate fan base. They call them Los Guerreros, meaning the Warriors. And they've got a fortress at Estadio TSM Corona. They've got a reputation as a gritty, disciplined, ambitious club, and they have proven themselves here in Bradenton this week admirably.
It's always interesting getting to see Liga MX play any American team. So much creativity coming from the Central South America region. And lots of talent here, kids with fathers who have played on national teams.
Watch out now. Through the back six, chested down. Yeah, you talk about national team pedigree. Luca Vuoso, Maximo Reyes. They know the lineage. They've heard the stories. Foul here on Orlando. And this Santos Laguna side, more than just a first team story. You look at their academy, quietly the most productive, one of the most productive in Mexico. Uriel Antuna came through here before starring for Chivas, and now Cruz Azul. He has over 50 caps from Mexico. Gerardo Tiaga took his talents to Europe with Genk, now plays for Monterrey. Plenty more examples where that came from through this particular academy. Orlando City, a younger product, but plenty of success of their own already. Benji Michel, dynamic winger, over 100 appearances for the Lions before moving to Real Salt Lake and later in Helsinki. Emerging talents as well, youth national team products. Thomas Williams, Fabian Loyola represented U.S. and Chile international levels. There's a lot of young academies, only around 10 years or so old, continuing to develop a pipeline of their own. Orlando very much in that conversation. And up to a 1-0 lead here right now. Ellis cuts inside to his left. Good ideas on the through ball. He's brought down, though. The challenge will earn a yellow. I think that was Cedillo given the yellow.
If there's anything we know about when U.S. plays Mexico is that it is really, really chippy. Makes you wonder if that translates here. Of course, we have the MLS All-Star game just around the corner. We get to play Liga MX All-Stars, so excited to see that. Going to be in Austin, Texas, near my hometown, San Antonio.
That's right. Not too far down the road. Cedillo, not the recipient of that yellow, by the way. That was Eduardo de Luna in the midfield. Now to play for an Orlando throw. All right, so now it's going to be interesting to see. I'm very curious. Does Orlando now follow a similar pattern as yesterday, kind of sit back into a defensive shape, or at the very least refrain from the same kind of attacking spirit they saw right away? What kind of game is this going to be for Orlando? There was not much to speak of after that first goal yesterday.
Right, I think part of it just depends on how Santos Laguna responds. If they keep giving them that space, looks like they kind of are.
Play to the left side. Cruz, curling ball off the crossbar. We've seen that twice in the first 10 minutes now. It's burned each side, inches away from the goal. Orlando's still in the box here. Gusky slipping it through, nearly threaded it like he wanted to. Instead, it's into the arms of Santos Laguna and Didier Diaz.
Oh, man, really wanted this for him. What a beautiful hit. Had the bend on it. Shook the whole goal. You know, we had a chance to talk to Luis Robles right before this, and he said this is going to be the game to watch. And I think part of it is the firepower on both sides. It's just going to be one of those entertaining games. You already have a near miss from Santos Laguna, a goal from Orlando City, and another near miss from Orlando.
Jacob Bassinet cleverly steps in. Now dribbling all the way from the back half. Bassinet's ambitious. Goes over the back netting. This is the mentality Orlando wants to see, though. Contrast from yesterday, how they followed their goal. 3 shots now for the Lions.
Really clear here that they have a nose for goal today. Orlando City, relentless even after that early goal. I mean, why stop the pressure when you've got the momentum? Try to add another in early on, because you know that Santos Laguna is going to put it away at some point. So obviously putting in next level effort here to cushion the stats.
Down the wing, Maximo Reyes looking to grow into this match. Son of former Liga MX player Joaquin Reyes. He's been part of the youth system here as Maximo from a very young age. The U19s, Reyes has scored 5 goals over 1,000 minutes. Watching Justin Ellis navigate his way through this Laguna defense. Clever layoff was cut off.
I like the diagonal run and the direct low pass. Obvious that Orlando's changing things up.
And their coaching staff's directives from the sideline after conceding possession of the attacking third. They want an immediate press. And it goes down to the box on the far side. Scooped up quickly by Rojas.
Potential opportunity there for Santos Laguna if Orlando continues to give them that space and that daylight there up top. The hard part is just getting numbers up.
Orlando have had a much more successful run of things here 2025 edition than last year. Struggled at the GA Cup. Drew with CF Monterrey. And 2 losses after that, being outscored 5-0. Now a spot to advance to the championship round. Gustavo Caraballo on the opposite side, laying it off.
Omar, inside.
We talk a lot about potentially seeing household names in this tournament. I think this is one of the games where you're going to see a lot of those show up in years to come, especially on the Santos Laguna side. Lots of national team pedigree running in the family too. And then you've got this Orlando City side where a good chunk of the guys are from MLS Next Pro, working their way to the first team. So really is cool just to see them here at this point in time, at this age. Look at guys like Justin Ellis, who have made such a huge name for themselves. I mean, even before walking into this tournament, it's a name people know.
That's a great point, Ken. I mean, Orlando's really going for it here at this tournament. One of the top U18 rosters coming in and bringing a lot of homegrown and professionally signed talent to this competition. And more than likely, this is the final team, the final go-around for this group. Ellis, Gusky, Caraballo, Platts. How long do they get to share this stage together? How often will some of them be at the first team level, the next pro level, or maybe go off to a different organization down the road? Cannot take these opportunities for granted. They're putting a lot of chips into this GA Cup run. It's proven beneficial thus far.
Or even college.
Yeah.
It's such a developmental time for these young men physically. And so some ready to go right into the pros, big leagues, some needing a little more time for development to grow into their body. But really great quality all the way around.
By the way, with that 5th goal for Ellis, he's now tied for the Golden Boot lead here at this tournament with Vitaly Hu, who Chicago Fire side was eliminated yesterday.
So what you're saying is there's a pretty good chance he's going to take that trophy home.
Wellington, Florida native. Scored his first Orlando City B goal last March. Good ideas here to play it to the middle. Take it away, though, before Juan Carlos Echevestre could get to it. Bassinet bodying his defender. Ran it across to Ellis. Ellis to his right. He's had little problem in 1v1 situations today. Nearly split 3. Gusky comes up. Gusky's taken down. And Orlando's going to go to the spot. Relentless pressure paying dividends. The Lions have a chance to make it a 2-0 lead.
The chance Orlando has been waiting for. They've been so calm and composed. Seems like they're really having fun here. A bit of a shove, bit of a trip. It's going to get you booked.
Well, was that outside the box by a step? No. This will be a penalty. And Caraballo is going to step to the spot. What a chance here for this Orlando side to really seize control now in just the first 20 minutes. Gustavo Caraballo, who became the youngest player in Orlando City history to sign a first-team contract when he did last month, has already made his MLS debut. A chance here for 2-0. Caraballo delivers! 2-0 Orlando, less than 20 minutes in.
I think that one might have had some fire behind it. Look at that zinger of a goal. Absolute pace. No keep getting to that one. Great work there from Caraballo.
Top shelf. No chance for Diaz. Wonderfully taken. And it's 2-0 Orlando. We asked the question in the first minute right after that goal, what would Orlando's response be? Just as much as Santos Laguna. We've got our answer now. Orlando in prime position now with with just more than 40 minutes to go.
Right. If I'm coach, I'm not changing a thing. Just let these guys have fun and keep rolling right through this. If you're Santos Laguna, get your head back in it. It's not too late. 2-0 is a nice, comfortable lead. Easy to return one or two favors. And if you look at the tournament so far, this wouldn't be the first game that they gave up early goals versus Atlanta. Gave up one in the 15th and the 17th, and then scored in the 55th. A couple games as they've gone on, it's been in the 50th and 60th minutes that they've scored. So things really turn up for them, but they've got to slow the bleeding here. Start to possess, close down higher up the field, defend from up top, just try to regain control of the situation and stop this momentum that Orlando has going at the moment.
And coach for Santos Laguna, David Aponte, began his coaching career in 2016, spent time at FC Juarez for 4 years. Also was a university professor as well, now leading the U18s. With this side from Torreon. This is delivered towards the near post, bouncing out of play. And another sequence goes awry for Santos Laguna. We talked with him before the game. He said it's been an amazing week. You look at the structure of the tourney with so many games, says it's critical that you have 20 players that you can count on, that you can rely on, that your depth is there. You're going to need to go to your bench throughout this. But he's felt his team was ready for the moment with their experience they've had, whether playing in Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Ecuador. And they have been ready, maybe a little bit knocked back here against Orlando.
I'd agree with that. I mean, you know they've got some major depth on their bench if they're still in it at this point in time. A lot of coaches are saying it's going to be a close call no matter what. No matter what team you are, because the margins of error are so low, margins of success so low, that some of it is luck dependent, some of it is prep dependent.
Bassinet worked really hard there to advance to the front half of the pitch. It's a lot of jersey tugging.
See his quality just being able to get out of pressure. Really good vision of the field too.
Yeah, if you focus so much on Gusky or Ellis, Carballo, I mean, there's plenty other weapons in the midfield for Orlando to carve you up with. Bassinet showing he's a player to be evaluated.
Solid point. Can't give too much attention to any one player because they're all so good.
Gusky committing the foul there. Tell you what, if Orlando do indeed hold this lead in advance, I can't wait to watch the first 60 seconds of that match tomorrow.
Yeah.
Could they do it a third straight time?
Right. It's clearly part of the game plan. Give everything you have in those first few minutes. Seal the deal.
Platts was momentarily dispatched. Back to goal here. Some space to create, and it fizzles across the mouth of goal.
Thought they were going to have it there for a minute. Got that Orlando City defense a little disorganized. Sometimes it's moments like that is what a team needs. If we do this, this is the result. And then they start building on that and things change a bit.
Ellis hitting it forward, bit of a shove out of play. It will be a foul. Ellis taking a little extra moment to compose himself after the run.
It's good. Take a few deep breaths. Tie your shoe. Get back up.
The ball's playing through, man. The ball's not out of bounds. The ball's not out of bounds. Up, Dylan, Gusky.
Orlando City, led by headman Javier Carrillo, joined the organization in 2019 as the assistant academy director. Before his time in Orlando, helped develop athletes at Weston FC in South Florida. Big role in advancing a number of players to MLS Academy, European clubs, including Barcelona. Well-established part of the academy ranks now with Orlando City.
It's a nice switch, but well read there, Frady. And the quick hop back up. Scrappiness starting to develop, and you know, sometimes you see that with these teams. They're eloquent and they play well, but do they have the scrappiness when it counts? I think that's why you see a lot of that just hard grunt work come out with U.S. men's national team versus Mexico. Things end up being really entertaining, lots of yellows and reds.
He can grime up a game, can Orlando. Talked a lot about Colorado's defense earlier in the day and how they've yet to concede a goal. Well, it's been 3 straight matches for Orlando without allowing the other team in the score sheet. 3-0 against LAFC, 1-0 against St. Louis. And most recently, 2-0 against Real Salt Lake. Side of things has risen to the occasion as well. Only giving up 2 goals in this tournament in the first 2 games. Sael Cedillo take the free kick towards goal. Rojas up and able to handle it. Ellis is charging down the near side. Wants it quickly. Rojas took a moment. Is this going to get over the top? Things might be on here. Ellis charging towards the end line. Laguna racing back. Ellis evaluates. Earns a corner.
Smart there to go for the corner. He's getting trapped there up top. Wasn't a ton of movement happening either to give him some options.
Omar, make sure we get one on the keeper. Get somebody on the keeper. Stand. Jake, Gustavo, you frame it. Doesn't get out.
It does feel like things have settled down a bit for Orlando, but that comes with managing the tempo and the energy of the game. Good chance here.
First corner kick of the match for either side.
Back in.
Pedro Cruz
Jake, give us a
plays it to Frady. Frady by his initial defender. Frady across goal, out of play, another corner.
Ellis with his head in his hands. A goal so close he could taste it. But when you look at this, it's really coming down to Orlando City winning their 1v1 battles. 1v1 on the offensive and defensive. And of course, just playing the game they play.
Very comfortable in wide areas. 1v1 defending. Orlando getting the first to head this. Ellis couldn't quite guide it towards frame as momentum carrying him away from goal. Laguna will try to settle things down. Oh, taken away. Perilous moments. Not what Diaz trying to do. Santos Laguna treading water right now. Orlando is hunting a third. Really wanting to put out the knockout blow. Difficult on the volley.
I like the effort. But first, let's look back at this near miss from Orlando, who just almost made Santos Laguna pay. And I think that's just a peek into the mindset right now of the Santos Laguna team. I know it's tough. I know you're down 2, but you got to get over it and you got to switch on.
Esteban Garza Robles Take your attention away for one quick touch. Nearly 3-0. Frady. Taken to the pitch. Orlando bench wants a card. So you got that thigh wrapped.
What's the standard for a card?
It's a pretty rough body check, no doubt. Looks like it's going to be just a set piece here. Probably from this angle didn't look great, but over there, more than likely, more ball in the mix. A lot of it depends on the angle that they're coming at you in the tackle. How often you repeat the offense too.
What is Santos Laguna going to have to discuss at the half here?
I think defending higher up the field, winning those 1v1 battles, the 50-50s. You know, I think they're being dribbled through a lot. So it's how do you stand up the offense a little more? How do you slow them down? It's just slowing down that pace. They're letting them have free run of play from the middle to the 18. So in what ways can you slow them down? Sometimes that means getting really compact, sitting back a bit.
Doesn't it feel like every time Justin Ellis gets the ball, and Caraballo as well, it feels like they think they can just dribble through this Laguna defense, and they've been proven right in a number of occasions here.
Yeah, and you can tell that Orlando's in a flow state.
This is clipped in. Difficult volley with his body and his shoulders. Not really torn towards goal. Be a foul called anyway.
Yeah, almost a good opportunity there for Santos Laguna, but again, they're getting up there. You're seeing individual quality, you know, some good one-touch hits, some good potentials, but I think they're disconnected as a unit. And I think that's the bigger problem, is they're just not on the same page. Could be a mental thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's hard to change, especially when you're this far along in a tournament, to shift that mindset mid-game.
Well, I like how you described it for Orlando. It really does feel like a flow state affair. They're having great first touches. They're confident on the ball. They're shedding defenders. They're putting a lot of pressure on Diaz, taking advantage of rogue passes. It's all working right at the moment for this Orlando side. Case in point, Ellis right here. Look how hard Laguna have to work to dispossess him.
Yeah, they've got him running and chasing. But not, you know, totally dominating. They're at least bringing it back to him a little bit there. And you see the individual quality on the ball. It's no mistake. It's just that last pass. There's a disconnect there coming out of the middle. Things are a little stagnant up top, too. Nobody's really checking in or moving or causing problems on defense. It's like, okay, we got here, now what? It's tough. And, of course, I say that sitting here with my headset on, you know, not in the middle of any of that and the bird's eye view, so I know it's tough.
Even when they get in the box and have a run towards the touchline, high degree of difficulty to find any sort of space along this Orlando back four. Now Caraballo looking for one final chance before the half ends. This is Ellis to his left. Ellis unleashes. Didn't get all of it. Ultimately routine for Didier Diaz. Another shot for Ellis, the fourth of the match for Orlando in this first half. The form he's been in, he might want to do that one again.
Yeah, really unlikely there for Ellis to not get some pace or placement on that ball. But felt like a routine movement into the attack at this point for Orlando. Lots to talk about if you're Santos Laguna, how to get the mind back into it here at the half.
Whip one in. And now the whistle will blow before Pedro Cruz can get out in transition. What a start, dream start for Orlando City here in the U18 semifinals. Takes less than 30 seconds to find the back of the net, courtesy of Justin Ellis. Caraballo added a penalty in the 18th as well. 30 minutes in, it's Orlando City 2, Santos Laguna 0.
vibe.
Beautiful Bradenton, Florida, the site of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. And in the semifinal, it's LA Galaxy with a thrilling win over PSV Eindhoven. Michael Watring, Kalen Carr, and our group with you. Recapping this match, and Aaron Medina bookended this matchup, and in the 5th minute, he started the scoring.
Yeah, it's really clever here from him to turn so well to it. It's often the second phase, the second ball on these dead ball situations, and he's just alert. He doesn't try to crush it. Excellent technique, head down, keeps his body on top of it, and gives the Galaxy the 1-0 lead here in the semifinal.
It took about 20 minutes, but PSV tied the score with a little help from the wind.
Yeah, and Tyron Stam has been bombing forward on this left flank all tournament. The Dutch Youth International stands this one up, and everyone stops it. So does the ball. It absolutely goes right in off the inside of that post. Well spotted from the AR.
3 minutes later, though, a fortuitous bounce for LA Galaxy, an own goal from Bobson.
Yeah, but credit to Viatora, who turns on it so well, faces up, and then asks a tough question, playing it hard and low across the box, and is desperately unlucky there from Bobson. The right foot, you can see, goes in, pass mood, no chance to stop it. But I thought the shift in the second half from PSV was really smart, switching to 3 in the back. It allows Apia to tuck inside. He plays this ball into Hunter, and this is no easy finish here. He's facing away from goal and then feels the pressure coming out from Nelson. Clever little finish to tuck that one in.
His 3rd goal in as many knockout stage matches. And then how about this breathtaking pass from Chadwick to Medina?
In the last minute, how about this ball here from Eddie Chadwick? Perfect to the back post. And Aaron Medina, who else? Ghosting in. Most players make that run to the near post. That's the obvious one. Instead, he tucks to the far post. And what a finish. Excellent technique on the header to bring them back in this.
And then in the 6th minute of stoppage time, Apia gets in behind, draws the foul just outside of the 18.
At desperation moments, it's a long ball and brought down so well from Apia, who's been excellent all tournament. You can see Chadwick has him on the shoulders. He picks up a red. There was a second defender next to him. Last chance here from Tom Benz, just not able to get on top of it. And the Galaxy on with the celebrations and on to the final. Well deserved for them.
It was another dazzling effort from Real Salt Lake. A 2-0 clean sheet win over KRC Genk in the U16 semifinals. Alongside Kalen Carr, Michael Watring recapping this one. And in the 4th minute, Javier Martinez makes it 1-0.
Yeah, they set the tone, draw the foul early, and then how about this service in from the center back, Jonah Georges, to the back post, and then right back across where it came from. Javier Martinez, the Mexican Youth International, with the finish and the celebration. In Salt Lake, we're off to the races.
And then it's a giveaway from KRC Genk, and Rylan Hashimoto scores for the 3rd time in this tournament.
Yeah, he's clever, just kind of hiding behind, but in the right position to pick off anything that comes across, and it's a difficult giveaway there with the square ball, and Rylan Hashimoto, top scorer throughout the regular season, carries his good form forward into the knockout stages. Makes it look casual, celebrating with his teammates, but it was anything but that. Salt Lake off to the finals.
Well, the first spot in the U18 championship has been claimed at the Generation Adidas Cup. Colorado Rapids ending Atlanta United's magical penalty kick run. They take it in 7 rounds in the shootout. A lot of drama before we got there. AJ Ricketts, Katie Goodman. 5 of Colorado's first 6 shots came in the first half. They were aggressive in the early going, but never put a shot on goal.
Super aggressive, intentional in the attack. As you can see there, another great placement in. Close call, time after time for Colorado, just not able to put it away. And then one of the better opportunities from Atlanta, this beautiful turn from Vincetti. It hits the post. Stark saved by the post there, but really and truly the best opportunity of the entire game there was off the foot of Vincetti.
And nearly finally unlocked this Colorado defense, who has still yet to give up a goal. Atlanta had some probing moments in the final 10 minutes, but could not find the net. The penalties we go. Simpson started with a miss. Atlanta had a chance to gain some early momentum. Vicente, who nearly had the goal in the run of play after the Simpson miss, denied by Starks on the other side. There were a lot of back and forths here in this shootout.
So many back and forths. Got to hand it to the keepers for everything that they have been through and all the work that they've done to deny these opportunities. But unfortunately there for Jonathan Ransom, they made him do it again. He came off the line too soon, and then Colorado able to put it away on that redemption shot.
Second time's the charm there, so still the drama continues. Braden Dunham stepped to the spot. Crossbar says no. A couple of misses here throughout the first 5 rounds, so then a chance for Ransom and company to make a big save yet again, and that's exactly what he does. Diving to his right, he's made 4 saves through 3 rounds of the knockouts, but then the pitch starts to become a problem there. Look at this divot. Caused some consternation from the Colorado coaching staff. They wanted to switch sides, but they said, no, we need to at least take one more kick here from this spot before we go to the other end. That's exactly what they did.
Able
and that did finish on the opposite side.
Yeah, able to convert there. It's not often you see the PK spot looking like a pitching green, but take it to the other side. Colorado's able to put it away, but it's the game winner here. And it's a save from Kendall Starks, denying it with his foot. Absolute acrobatics. And a dog pile to follow.
High drama. Colorado Rapids advances off the kick save. They take down Atlanta 5-4 in penalties. On to the U18 final.
I know I'm fully attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dochi? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Just about set to start the second half. Orlando City and Santos Laguna right out of the gates. Orlando wasting no time off the turnover. Justin Ellis would eventually score the first goal here.
Right off the first kick, puts it away. And since then, Santos Laguna just trying to come back from the shell shock. The intensity that Orlando City brought early on, very shortly after, doing it once again.
Ellis now tied for the Golden Boot lead in this tournament with 5. Santos didn't retreat. He showed some spirit in that first half. That one nearly leveled it up. Off the crossbar. Had Orlando City beat. Orlando experienced some of the same there minutes later.
Right, I think if that goal for Santos Laguna had gone in, it would have changed the game, but it's been This ball kissing the post time after time shows the quality of these two sides. And then it's the PK that really seals that lead. And the bad luck there in that first half for Santos Laguna. Putting it away is Caraballo. Another goal under his name. Nothing the keep can do there with that kind of pace.
That tackle, that was awfully close to being a free kick. Santos Laguna was certainly hoping for that, but ruled in the box. Caraballo takes advantage. 2-0 after 30 minutes of play. Former Mississippi State defender Kenny Goodman, AJ Ricketts, glad to have you with us on the MLS YouTube page. Generation Adidas Cup semifinal. Winner advances to play Colorado Rapids, who has continued their scoreless streak. 6 games, 0 goals conceded. They will certainly have their work cut out for them to continue that if it's this Orlando City side that they'll face. Santos Laguna has not been shut out this entire tournament. They'll need to keep that to have any sort of opportunity against the Orlando City side that is rolling at the moment.
Again, a team that is known for their late goals, scoring around the 50-minute mark. So don't count them out just yet. I think more than anything, it was the mental battle of that first half. Got the best of them. The quality is there. You can see it. Just getting on the same page. Pumping the brakes for Orlando.
Will it be a similar quick start here in half number 2? This is Ellis. How direct might Santos Laguna be in this second half? How much do they work around the midfield, perhaps? Sense of urgency has to be high. Less than 30 minutes left to keep this going.
Look at this Orlando City back line. They've just done a really good job of shutting things down early, not messing around with it, just handling business. Got Platts, our change, Frady, Robana. They've just been solid all tournament long. Very little change there, aside from occasionally in the outside back roll, if you want to get some guys in the attack, but...
3 subs for Laguna to start the second half, by the way. Pavel Del Toro, Raul Gutierrez, Jose Cardenas. 3 substitutes to start off the second half.
Mateo, get in, Mateo. Mateo, play, man, play. Go to 319, Mateo. 319. Get wider, Mateo.
Smooth sailing for Orlando today. Aside from that one curling ball, Santos Laguna hitting the post. Defense has stood tall, looking for more. Snuffing out anything in transition. You know, Laguna's looking for something in that avenue, perhaps as well.
You can see Orlando is working on the contract and expand piece of it. Still one of those things you got to work on throughout your career, anytime you're on any team, but it's a challenge of the outside back rolls. 1 minute you've got to be super tight in, the next minute you need to be cleats to chalk. Lots of conversation happening on the weak side of the field right now. These are all the really teachable moments that are going to help them as they move forward. It's not about just where the ball is. There's so much happening off the ball.
Orlando City's first team scheduled to play CF Montreal tonight. 7:30 starts. Up in Canada, Orlando 3-3-2 on the season thus far. Came into the season riding high after a strong campaign last year as Ellis again in space. This is a very good ball to the far side. Maybe just a step or two out in front. Corner kick, though, for Orlando.
Would have liked to see a quicker switch there. They had purple jersey wide open pretty quickly. Maybe skipped a pass or two. Could have gotten into the attack a little bit sooner and in behind that line, but it does feel like Orlando City's a little bit slower here in this half, but it's also hard to compare to when you've got a, what was it, a 60-second goal? It's hard to top.
It's the most space I've seen Ellis be able to operate with this whole match. Consistently draped with defenders. Back and forth here. One shot that was unleashed.
Wind not allowing them to clear it. That was a struggle there on that.
Ellis. Combination play defended well. Right back to Orlando. Yeah, a bit of a mixed bag early for the Lions first team, but they're still firmly in the mix. They're sitting in the 7th spot in the standings heading into tonight. They do average over 2 goals a game dating back to last July. Too high on that diagonal ball. Hit out of play as they were looking to locate Gutierrez. He's the one that scored the equalizer in the 58th minute against Sockers FC. Almost had 2 Chicago teams in the semifinals between Sockers and Chicago Fire. That would have been quite something if they made their way to the finals. A little Chicago derby.
A little rival there.
Oh, no doubt. Now to play for an Orlando throw. Matchday 9 at the half. Inter Miami Columbus Crew playing at the Browns Stadium tonight. Benjamin Kamaski getting on the board in the 30th minutes. Sellout crowd there in Ohio after a terrific scene and atmosphere in Chicago the week prior for Messi and Inter Miami.
Come on, man. Hey, that's the softest thing all day, man.
Orlando not thrilled with that assessment of a foul.
Thought it was a softer hit compared to others. Doesn't matter, ball's in play. You know, when you look at the Santos Laguna team, there's no one real superstar. A bunch of guys can put it away. I think that's what makes them tricky once they start finding their momentum and rhythm. Good work smothering the situation here. Gonna get called jumping on the back on that one.
Really impressed by this Orlando back four, just as much as the attacking presence we've seen along the front line. This purple and gold side. Frady, Platts.
Sharing shin guards. That's how you know you're close. Willing to share shin sweat.
Jael Hernandez coming in. Maximo Reyes to the bench. Somewhat surprising, maybe. That's how Reyes has comported himself during this tournament. He's represented Mexico at many youth international levels as well. He's called up to the U18 squad recently. Laguna searching for something here. Rojas had that covered. Catching practice.
Great work coming off his line, just getting up to meet it. But yeah, I mean, with these short halves, it's really tough to make a mental turnaround. And then you look at the tournament and you're playing day after day after day, and you know these kids are going through it physically and mentally. So that's why you have a bench. That's why you have depth and your teammates to rely on when you need them.
This is a better spell of possession here. Low driven ball, not completely dealt with. Now sprayed out towards midfield. More encouraging moments here from Santos Laguna, this side from Torreon. Earning a free kick, 35, 40 yards out.
Good chance here.
We'll have to value them more. Just 2 shots through 38 plus minutes.
Chest, guys, chest. Jackson, you're free. Quickly, Justin.
Looping ball. Contended with effectively.
It was good service in behind the line if you'd had someone running on it.
Rojas again. Stoughton nets easily. Dispersed. Oh, give it away. Platts really committed the foul there. Got possession back. Gusky trying to send it forward. Laguna making things a little more difficult now. They really need to. Might compromise them a bit in moments like this. Good job to keep it in the attacking half. Once again, Gutierrez now. Frady in defense.
Turn on a dime there.
Cardenas. Sliding pass to the far side. Gusky in defense. Settled at the legs of Del Toro. Quick turn again. Attempted cross is denied. Santos Laguna showing some spirit though.
Just going to say the hustle and the heart is showing up here. That could be the game changer. Sometimes you just need 3 or 4 guys bringing everything they have to turn things around. Had a good run of play going for a bit. And a big part of that was just doing everything they could to not turn it over. I mean, you saw a lot of slide tackles and diving and next level effort in that last run.
Referee telling everybody we gotta speed this up a little bit. Orlando not exactly completely amenable to that.
Not in a rush whatsoever.
Push towards the touchline. Shielded well. Platt's doing a great job all tournament long. Orlando will make their first pair of substitutions here. Justin Hilton, Dominic Baczewski set to enter. Bassinet will exit. Cruz's day will come to a conclusion as well. 41 solid minutes for Jacob Bassinet and Pedro Cruz. Orlando less than 20 minutes away now. Wonder what kind of celebrations we may see from Orlando if they wrap this one up today. Remember yesterday when the final whistle blew? It's very businesslike, walking onto the pitch, handshakes, dapping up each other.
I think that was a different situation. I don't think they were happy with those 60 minutes.
They're trying to really put the nail in the coffin here. Coming out of goal. That was tense for a moment. To make sure they got it out of there.
I think the way we were seeing them play here is more like their typical standard of play. And, you know, if they win this one, I can see them to celebrate. But I think they just had a lot of turnovers, weren't able to get much going in that game.
What a challenge there along the left side. Platts was playing well up the pitch. Santos Laguna showing some heart here midway through the second half.
You're on, man. You're on.
Ellis was trying to make a one-on-one run. That's well over his head.
Okay, next one, next one.
Physically speaking, there are some differences too. You've got a lot of taller, really strong guys from Orlando. Just hard to play through
Good job, Mateo.
for Santos. But I like to see this fight coming from them. If they keep that up, it's going to cause problems.
Again, Orlando made the decision Send a number of homegrowns, a number of players that are on pro contracts. They put them all together. See what they could do here at the GA Cup. A lot of players that have spent plenty of time together in the academy. Looking to put that towards a tournament run. Ellis scored less than 30 seconds in. Wasn't a great first touch. Leads to it being played to Platts. Now Frady, effective turn. Using his body here along the touchline. Green and white stripes all around him. Somehow, Orlando got it out of that scrum. Caraballo playing defensively now.
Yeah, turning into quite the scuffle here on the left side. It's always tough when you have that first touch and then you're just trying to make something of it and ends up back in possession. But it was really good effort there to just try to make something of that. But when you do that time after time, when you're behind, you start to get fatigue out.
Went away here, though. Gutierrez tried to play it central towards the box. They have just not been able to locate Luca Vuoso. He's playing at the 9, trying to follow in the footsteps of his father, the former Mexican international Matias Vuoso. Played for Man City as well. I've rarely seen the younger Vuoso on ball today.
Also an Adidas athlete, so you know he gets some pretty sweet gear.
Fifth substitute here for Santos Laguna. Daniel Luduena. That'll be it for Juan Carlos Echevestre. Orlando's used a pair of subs. Santos Laguna has gone 5 deep now, and a free kick here for Orlando. Trying to make it a 4th straight shutout.
Very clear that they're trying to make Santos Laguna run here a little more before they go in for the attack. Just doing a good job to spread the field, and they're taking the bait. Here's a counter.
Gonna have to create something effective soon. Can't let moments like this go to waste.
I think this is a situation where just getting back to the basics and doing the basics well, that's a challenge when you run, when you can't find your rhythm. Is the first touch, there's a struggle, or there's a pass not connected, and then that kind of spreads across the team. And so that situation, it's, can we focus on possession? Yes, we need to get out of our half, but just simplify, simplify, simplify. Do what you got to do on defense, meaning get really tight, really compact. Start dictating the game a little more.
U18s here for Orlando City now in the 48th minute, getting closer and closer to a championship game appearance. You know, from a brand perspective, for so many years when the city of Orlando arose in conversation, it was theme parks or the Magic might have been the first thing to come to mind, right? But the soccer club has steadily brought more and more purple throughout town. Launched in 2010 as the USL Pro side, made that leap in 2015. More than 62,000 packed the Citrus Bowl for their debut. So Ellis fighting, earning a foul. Now global stars like Kaká don the jersey. Exploria Stadium's proven to be one of the best atmospheres in the league. They made that run to the MLS's back final in 2020. U.S. Open Cup in 2022. Are all moments this organization takes great pride in. There's a feeling really all around, though, the best is still yet to come for this young club, and a lot of the players in purple on this pitch very much hoping to be a part of that.
Yeah, really a great organization, top to bottom. It's the purple is familiar. It's everybody knows it.
were Florida's team for quite some time. Now we've got a lovely rivalry in play. Ellis, Caraballo went down. There's a whistle. Disgust from Laguna. They can't believe it. It's going to be a yellow issue to Diaz for slamming the ball, and Orlando can really put things away here. Caraballo causing issues on the run.
He's in the box, he's giving it a go, and it's the last defender, trips him up, and that's a big trip. No ball in sight. It's going to get him to the PK spot every time. And that's just tough because Santos Laguna was starting to find a fight. And it's just tough to give it up here.
Justin Ellis steps to the spot. A chance to make it 3-0 and surely send Orlando through. Ellis, number 9 with number 6 of the tournament. Justin Ellis makes it 3-0 Orlando, and the purple and golds can really sense a championship spot now.
Golden boot on the line as well, unless some sort of magic happens in the next 2 days. Justin Ellis, no problem putting it away. We've got the bench for Orlando City, eager to get in. I mean, a 3-0 lead, getting comfortable. It's time to get some guys minutes, get these starters some rest so that they're able to handle things in the finals. And again, you can see it in the body language there for Santos Laguna. Just a tough match for them. Never quite able to get anything really going.
Who knows what kind of match this would have been if you could have curled that kick in to make it 1-1 that hit the post, right?
Absolutely. That would have been a game changer, 100%.
But it did not. And now 2 of the 3 goals for Orlando today have come from the penalty spot. Justin Ellis's day comes to a conclusion. Well-deserved break the rest of the way now. Parker Amumensa, Sebastian Sitlo, Nikolai Pierre, the 3 substitutes now. So it's shaping up to be Colorado against Orlando City. And, you know, in that Colorado game earlier today, Katie, they faced a squad in Atlanta who had not scored in their last 2 matches. It's going to be a little bit different of a verve for them tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be really physical. I think you might see Colorado initially on the defense versus getting out on the front foot early, because the problem is if you get out on the front foot early against Orlando, you expose yourself to Justin Ellis on a counter, and if you give Justin Ellis space on a counter, it's his. So interesting to see the way they approach this. You also don't want to sit back too much either, because they'll make you pay. But I think where Orlando has the most success is when they just have a little bit of space. They are able to spread the field, and if Colorado gets compact and makes things congested, they're not as dangerous.
It's going to be a fascinating matchup. Jose Sulaika, excuse me, will sub in now. Luis Gomez off the pitch, whose father also played for the club. He's already made his Liga MX debut as well. Brady, physical, fouled. It'll be a free kick here for Orlando.
Something I always like to say, especially in tournaments like these, lots of eyes on you. It's more than what the score line is. You're going for next play. You're going for what am I doing as an individual to keep this train moving? Because there's a lot of scouts and eyes on this game. So to throw your hands up or to show body language that doesn't indicate you're still giving your all, even when the odds are against you, you could pay for it. So you've still got to keep putting everything on the line, no matter the situation.
Always something to play for, regardless of scoreline. It's the curling ball in. Diaz in the right spot. And desperation time for Santos Laguna, but things not looking great. Flag was up on the far side. But they have comported themselves very admirably throughout the course of this tournament, representing their club, representing the city of Torreon to a very high standard. You know much about Torreon?
I don't.
I'm going to drop some knowledge about Torreon, all right? I don't think most of us know too much, except our friends from northern Mexico tune into the broadcast as Bush will come in for Urbana, who was the goal scorer yesterday for Orlando in the first minute. All right, Torreon. It's a city carved into the desert, northern Mexico, along an industrial heartbeat of Mexico. A lot of cotton fields, cattle ranches, steel mills, mining. It's a resilient, proud city. Around 700,000 people call it home. Okay, if you ever find yourself in Torreon, you'll see it right away. They've got their own version of the Christ the Redeemer statue. You know that one that high above Rio de Janeiro? They've got one in Torreon. They call it Cristo de la Noas, largest Christ statues in Latin America. May not get the global spotlight of Mexican or Brazilian counterparts, but just as iconic in the country. And, you know, Katie, if I'm doing my research here, as Platts is taken to the ground, that'll be a quick yellow. If I'm doing good research, I'm looking at the food situation immediately.
Food is enough to get me there. To get me anywhere, really. Very highly food motivated. Highly food motivated. But right now, we've got a player down.
Let's take a look at the challenge first.
Have to see it back. Oof. And, ooh, it's the ankle. A little smidge of a roll there for Platts. Another guy who's been a really big piece of this. And this is the challenge you face when you've got guys coming down from MLS Next Pro. There's always that potential for injury, especially long games, multiple games. I don't want to suggest anything, but hope to see him pop up quick.
Reminder in the U16s, Real Salt Lake, LA Galaxy, tomorrow at noon. U16 championship. A thriller today with Galaxy and PSV Eindhoven. 3-2. Crazy back and forth game. Salt Lake's defense not allowing anything against KRC Genk.
Interesting to see more international influence in these semifinals for the U16s.
So Hilton will line up for this free kick. Getting some analysis from our head of officials, Joe Fletcher, about that last sequence. He thought that it had potentially could have been a red card. Point of contact being the ankle. Studs up first. Of course, not just the players being evaluated over the course of this week.
Pretty sweet having a rules analyst.
Yeah, our own
here to
James
help us out.
Yeah,
that's a new thing, at least for me.
See what Orlando does here on this free kick. 58th minute. Played low from the training ground. Wasn't a bad idea.
I really like that. Good to try something different at that point. I went for it.
Looks like that crossed the line. It will be a goal kick. See what was developing here as Hilton took the free kick.
Smaller wall allows you to have a run on like this. I guess the way the guys were set up too made it conducive to a run on. Kind of got to be aware of that when you're defending. Still gave him a lot of problems.
But just to finish that thought from before, if you ever do find yourself in Torreon, the go-tos, smoky carne asada, discada. Do you know what discada is? It's described as Tex-Mex meets campfire stir-fry.
Oh, sounds
That
great.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. Being a Texan myself,
Yeah.
Tex-Mex is everything.
You've got a high standard.
Yeah.
Tacos de trompo as well. Those are a little spicier, a little smokier than tacos El Pastor. Those are some local favorites there. A lot of culture.
A lot of culture indeed. And also this Santos Laguna team, we were talking to Coach how they've been able to play Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Ecuador. So, you know, being in Central America, you have so many other countries nearby. United States, you get a little bit landlocked. You got Canada, a few Mexican teams, but
It was interesting talking to him about what he feels is different in style of play, how this has been different than what he typically sees. He said it's another soccer in terms of how direct, how vertical, how fast. A lot of teams play here.
all learning lessons despite the results. Something you can take away from it. But yeah, mentioned Brazilians, Uruguayans tend to have this really pretty creative style of soccer, constant movement, hard to track, and then you've got Americans with more direct style, physicality.
He also said he felt this Orlando City team was the best he'd seen in this tournament.
He knew it was going to be a challenge, no doubt. Already had his eye on Justin Ellis and Platts. Knew they were going to be a challenge to break down, and wasn't wrong.
It was a great challenge on the far side by Tyler Bush, by the way. Sure, a nice reaction from the Orlando contingent over there. Santos Laguna looking to get one before stoppage time runs out.
That's some good international sportsmanship right there. And you know, you gotta hand it to Santos Laguna. At least they're trying. At least they're not just letting Orlando run around. They're starting to put bodies on them. Yeah, they're tripping them up, and it's not pretty, but it's slowing them down.
Justin, you peel off if it goes. Dale! Focus! No goals!
Late yellow for Orlando there.
Hey,
That goes against
free.
Nikolai Pierre.
Mateo! Nico!
Play to the corner of the box. Just 4 shots through an hour plus for the side from Torreon. Orlando with the early goal from Ellis, 28 seconds into the match. Yeah, that's the spirit right now for the Central Florida side.
Some preemptive celebrating, not too preemptive. Yeah, I mean, even on that set piece, you can tell they're still just a little switched off. Wasn't expecting the pass, or maybe too much pace on the pass. Wasn't able to get that good first touch.
Play down, play!
On the last matchup for the Rapids against the high-powered offensive presence, they shut down Vitali Hoop. Now this whole team for Orlando, anyone can put it in the net, particularly Ellis. They'll have to face another Golden Boot leader. The second time in 3 games. These Giants from Central Florida, this Orlando City side, proven to be, over the course of this tournament, trying to get one here before time expires. Flag was up. Final whistle blows, and that's it. Orlando City on to the U18 final.
As the U16 storm the field. Another huge dog pile, celebration loading.
And now the U18s will storm from the bench. They were kind of pulling the same thing as yesterday. Very casual, and now they say, let's join in.
Sometimes you just need some young guys to spruce things up and infuse some energy. I love to see it. And it's a game worth celebrating. It was really good stuff top to bottom for Orlando. And we've got Justin Ellis coming up.
Yeah, what a game for Justin Ellis. Once again, he puts in a pair of goals, including in that first minute. Before we talk with Ellis here momentarily, take a look at what's coming up tomorrow. Championship Sunday right around the corner. Gets started at 9:30 a.m. Girls Academy Blue, Girls Academy Red. Well, that was a fun division with FC Bayern and Manchester City in there as well. You've got Real Salt Lake and LA Galaxy in the U16 final. Palmeiras and Nashville in the Premier Division Championship. And then, of course, Orlando City has just locked up their spot in the U18 Championship. They are set to take on Colorado Rapids. Going to try to figure out that Rapids defense that has been so stout over the course of this entire tournament. Great to have Justin Ellis with us here at IMG Academy as his team has just advanced to the G8 Cup final. He's our Adidas Man of the Match. Justin, congratulations. What another fabulous performance for your side. I told Katie, I can't wait for the first 2 minutes tomorrow. You guys, that's become your brand, your MO. You didn't wait 90 seconds. It took all of, 25 seconds to find the net. What was the point of emphasis the last 2 days coming out to be able to execute like that?
I mean, that's just part of us. You know, we always like to get to business early, and especially today, our coach told us in the pregame meeting, like the first half, just put them away. That's exactly what he said. Just put them away. They're going to be dead tired because obviously they've had a tough road here. So yeah, and that's exactly what we did. 2-0 first half, and then second half just control the game, you know, and I feel like that's what we did.
This looked like a really good game for you guys. You were just on the same page, top to bottom, defensively, moving really well. What was the difference for you in this game versus some of the previous?
Yeah, I feel like the main difference, especially from this one to the RSL game from last game, I think it was more like the rest. I feel like against RSL, we were all like pretty like fatigued, and this game we had a day of rest, and I think you guys could see it from outside. Like, we are so energetic. We were on them all game.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights from you today. And I loved your movement. Loved your movement off the ball, particularly on this first goal here. Just take us through how you approach this.
It looked like you made it through off your teammate's turn. He passes it in. You run through. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, when I got the ball the first time, I just wanted to just like have a go. Like I didn't even look at the goal. I just wanted to shoot from outside the box to see what would happen. And luckily, it fell to my teammate Jake. Then once I saw it against him, we just have like this connection, you know. So I knew that he was going to flick it towards me, and luckily I got the goal.
Yeah, I mean, you did a really great job there of continuing the run. Sometimes you see guys stop and look and admire what they just did. Instead, you kept that run going, and that's what got you the goal.
Yeah. No, thank you, guys.
One last thing. Generation Cup. This is some meaningful stuff for a lot of people in the young part of your career.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of successful things down the road, but what has this experience been like sharing it with a lot of guys who have big ambitions just like yourself?
All I want to say is that it's always going to be like a life-changing week. Like, if you take your opportunities, then it's going to be a life-changing week. That's all I have to say.
I got a chance for a special moment tomorrow against Colorado. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you taking some time. Justin Ellis just keeps scoring. He's got 6 goals now in the GA Cup as we take a look at how the bracket stands. Orlando City in the final. Colorado Rapids have yet to concede a goal. Strength versus strength. Offense versus defense. How much fun is that going to be tomorrow? 5 p.m. Eastern start here on the MLS YouTube page. It's only fitting that we see 2 teams that bring in elite level strengths to their game like that. Another fantastic day at the IMG Academy in Bradenton. Emotional day for all these teams that continue their run in the tournament. Championship Sunday coming up. For our entire production team and my partner Katie Goodman, your final today from Bradenton in the U18s. Orlando City 3, Santos Laguna 0.
This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.